terraforming. Four corners of paranormal, get joined for a thermos and parathermals in a warehouse. Air wears dairy curdle. St. Vincent de Paul trying to square the circle. Circle the source of his power. Foresight born at the corner of Howard on sale. Cherry pick blue in the pail. It's a blue nose chew in his tail. Losing his coat, schmoozing a high in a head rush. Hack up bile over H1N1 and then some. One eye on the breadcrumbs, other eye on the drink crumb, other eye on the income. Good knife in the grin, shoot dice with the lice and the ringworms. Peg leg, smells like Medellin. Wake in the night, make a pipe out of anything. Take 5, take a dive in the cellar plane. Turn 5 in a 5, 6, 7, 8. Back out, black out somewhere fancy. Shake in the backseat of Aesop's Camry, dude. Seat for the chips and sandwich meat from the crypt in the end. If you give an address and a rib or a don't question a mystery fish. Just picture shrimp on a pillow with grits. Close your eyes, lick your lips. I'm at the cafe ordering a cup of fresh. Sarah gave me 2, I gave 1 to Rex. He said fools ain't plus the pigs. They can never understand what Sumner is.
Word up, word up. Word up.
I'm off grid, I'm through the gate. I fly these kites into the fray.
Word up, word up. Word up.
I'm out the box, I'm through the bud. I fly these kites into the cut. NorCal fried bacteria, no ID, survived the vivarium. Trisoft feel sourdough and heroin. Eat with the chimera, fly with the seraphim. I hold court with the cats and dogs of old crews like an orb in a dragon's claw. And Terry cloth robes outside, detox early. Curse of the beat cop, Dr. Slurpee. Adopt no Xerxes, fear no moon man. Stay true like a wolf wearing wolf pants. Ooh, never could avoid himself for long enough to contain or employ his help. And now we look both ways at the asteroid belt. Buzzed, gross and holy gun love. Still hearing X in his head yelling kiss the ring. From a fortune of Fisher King or from a sister care. Blisters in his hair, new day, new diarrhea, disrepair. Soup's on 2-ton, crucifix to bear. No shoes, no shirt, no fiscal year. I said hello to Marshall every morning for 6. He yelled at me every time. That's a warrior. It only took 1 tooth to crack the bug juice to chug. Turn a bum to a son to his bug. Outside home is an open swim. Occultism and a throws a corrosive wind. A cold meal with a ghost of friends. A whole host of meds. A deal on a tone, no cassette. I stepped over a body in the door. I pretend he asleep, but it's probably more profound apathy. Heart with a crack. I'm ships in the night. I'm darts at a mat. Word up. Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a 2-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom abroad. I left some years of deer in the light, I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's base. It was blooming addiction, a missing, a pushing, a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil or linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
I'm getting sick and tired of never understanding. Where is the truth you promised?
The kid that worked down at the local Baskin Robbins got a tattoo of a lipstick print attached above his collar. I watched him relocating pistachio to a waffle, thinking I had lost the plot, if not the passion for the novel. He asked me what I wanted, I ordered something daft. He said he liked the tattoo Alex drew me of the bats. Thanks, I like it too, but modestly confess, in present company my coloring is not the main event. Look at that neck, the message is immediate, the guy F's chicks. I spent a lot of years making friends with cool artists, so when they drew me tattoos I could truly feel important. Now some 22-year-old inside a cube of brick and mortar got me questioning my morals in their corny pecking order. I should give it less. Cherry, no. Whip, yes. Lot of years. Lot of years. The girl that worked down at the local juice place got a head full of dreadlocks down to her waist. I watched her at the spinach to the ginger to the grapes. My hair was underwhelming, my juice was great. Some lady orders maca, compliments the locks. She asked how many years it took the girl to grow the crop. It took a lot of years and then eventually I cut them, kept them, and reattached them anytime I want them. My mind's blown, the future is amazing, I feel so old. I bet you clone your pets and ride a hoverboard to work. I used a folding map to find the juice place in the first. These kids are running wild, I'm still recovering from church. You should have seen me in the 90s, I could ollie up a curb. You should have seen me in the 80s, I was bumping New Edition, dragging acne into Hades. Lot of years. Know what I mean? Lot of years. Question: if I died in my apartment like a rat in a cage, would the neighbors smell the corpse before the cat ate my face? I used to floss the albatross like daddy came with the chain. I'm trying to jettison the ballast with the hazardous waste. The kid is comfortably numb, routine a tedious crutch. Steep in a self-imposed Stockholm and Lima in flux. Maybe an occupation popular with demons and ducks. Mid any mingling akin to being seasoned and stuffed. It's a theater of jumping jellyfish, jealous little sycophants. Miserable and flimsy from the skippies to the pants. Each one separately convinced they're sketching with Da Vinci's hands. Delusion turn a communication a prison camp. Dorks ain't a threat to the cause. There ain't a lesson we can learn from the ostensibly lost. I think it's funny when defendants from identical haunts step out the tempest to measure of what the spectrum involves. Maybe no one cares. Party over here, I'll be over there.
Don't need no help. By myself, don't need no help. By myself.
I used to hang around with rappers at the root of the scene. It meant a lot to feel the fugitive community breathe. Maybe the sentimentalized is to be truly naive. I know something about about your heroes that you wouldn't believe. I think we're all a bunch of weirdos on a quest to belong. The song's a echolocation up in impregnable fog. That's why it's odd to see a pile of imperfections and flaws, ascend a pedestal to patronize the rest of the cogs in a mess of obnoxious fantasy, posturing and pageantry. I ain't even mad, I'm impressed, it's baffling. God almighty, chop an ivory tower to piano keys. Play your own dirge on the way to surfing Maggot Beach. Dorks ain't a source of the art. You can't be cooler than the corners where you source all your parts. The poker face, all it takes a couple sordid remarks. We let the manicore out, we make the sorcery bark. Life is so unfair, party over here, I'll be over there. I view the rattling of sabers like a show to expose insecurities exploding in emotional code. When braggadocio to go from mostly jokey to gross. Corrode a homie till his probity is notably ghost. Before the hobby was a job, he was a miniature hell. You would wobble around your mama like an infant gazelle. The disillusionment has truly been a difficult pill, but you was anything menacing as a difficult sell. And a whistling bellorama, Black Molly's to dress up like piranha. It's not even compelling melodrama, it's a comedy. Somebody wanna shop you as a saga. I'm very voluntarily persona non grata. Dorks ain't the leaders we need. This ain't the medium believers out to weasel and breed. I'm offering coffee with the paupers over tea with the queen. Don't make them show the Regency what disobedient means. Heavy load to bear, party over here, I'll be over there.
Don't need no help.
Hey, warm cider, barn full of spiders, orange moon, starry night, particle exciters. In a pageant rivaled only by the origin of fire. Now add an organism from alternative environs. A dozen pair of cartoon eyes in the thicket to see a neophyte get sliced in a ribbon. I'm here to pick lights off each other and assimilate. Duck a suit, troubleshoot as moody user interface. True and sucker proof, grew to fully disengage. Florida's only vanishing point away from the picture plane. Go to where the radio trails off and people catch rabies on the way to their mailbox. Under a sideways rain, cornering the briar, still pull a broadsword from a hoarded synthesizer. Nap in a hole in a tree, cat leaving bowls at my feet. Talking Master P, memory foam, everything. Jettison the rest and roulette us a new trajectory. Spinal tap 11, tapping resin out the evergreen. Designated dark horse, headless independently. Sidewalks end with ponds and frog eggs. Buried bones and its very own blurry Sasquatch vids. Led like field ants to a hot lens. 8 o'clock kittens versus cobwebs, fight. Maps won't work here. Ice over bittersweet nightshade. Antlers rise from his migraine. Shredder die, life's strange, how do you identify? Knew a Dematil and all our package with a Vespertine. Me, I'm pretty useless to the rufus painted Gemini that set him free. Eat his own body weight in genocide. Came back a decorated dog of war once more, though he currently stuck in the dog door. Additionally, dog isn't even his final form, just a period between greenhorn and Hyperion. Peer into the eye of a primordial experience. Portamento warriors in unforgiving wilderness. Borderline ethereal, Noah's Ark Rome tone. Add a little up high, down low, too slow. Found acquaintances a pain to babysit, so we gave away a and gave them all the slip. Now pets hit the ceiling when the wind blows. Fish float belly up, songbirds crash in the windows. Swizzle apple cider vinegar and dish soap. Suicide flies take dips in the kill zone. Still shuffle through a stack of old photos taken before the varicose verified chronos. I don't know, it feels weird. I'd rather feed an apple to a deer.
Might have heard something in the walls. Could have been voices, could have been claws, could have been
die already. None defied a one-man walled city. Stone made flesh veins etched in his hands. 88 stands straight, then invasive plants and rain dance unsafely. Brace for the Supercell. Mutineer footage for your blooper reel. Who could tell? Pours hot tar from the top of the barn. Necktie on his head, condor on his arm. Dog star in a jar, bordering unsustainable. Mea culpa, maybe I should pray a cold. Systematic Catholic or sigil in a Baphomet unraveling. Either way, his ID show a snake and skull. Always been a private dude who couldn't keep a tally of which lies he told. Who? Dye his hair, shave, change names in his lazy drawl. Soon enough I will estrange you all like it ghost. On Dasher, half-dead carolers, deck a whole advent calendar. Brother on speakerphone, lurking at the Burgerville. Bathrobe, hammer toes, murdering the curb appeal. Would I be returning or forsaken with the craven and carnivorous vegetation that take them for a steakums? I don't know, I gotta think about it. Truthfully, I don't know which makes me a bigger coward. Either stomach or the hubris. Cash in his 2 cents, loose lips locked up over a chewed Eucharist. Or maybe reappropriate the energy. Hold up, passing a poultry to Hecate. Bull-headed burnout, fled his own pedigree and never better. Never would've met your heaven anyway. Mary, go make soup out of bones. Just know when the room go cold, I'm a ghost. Home exorcism and deworming, fitted for a curse and a crown of bird circling. Search party falling forward, unthwarted. Meet him at the crossroads, drawn and quartered for a master of puppets outside of his cupboards. Non-dairy creamers, can a last supper and a runneth over cup full of black tap water. It's a marvel of privacy over pack hunter. Raspberry jelly on his Jesus toast and turn heather gray sweats into Easter clothes with no immediately measurable crime wave. Ice age, Christ's children still skin a cat sideways. I don't pick teams or administer bans. I'm in the creek with a pick and a pan and go forcibly ejected or a voluntary death scene. Tell them what the out of order blinking EMF mean. Ghost. Yup, steps up to the plate. Little brother, little league. 87, he was 8. Rookie season for the skinny slugger, newly at a T-ball. Pit against the pitcher with a ripper you could eat off. Church then a grip loans, run a third first. Granny yelling go Cubs, nose in a word search. Seen milfs like apes on a monolithic bleacher in an advocating war and peace in lieu of sport and leisure. Hi Peggy, I was 10 chewing on a sweet tart. Little brother left field Queens guard, mean arm, knees bent, 2 out, 2 on bags. When I caught him staring down at something moving through the grass. Hold up, tag runner and a whole cast rotate. Not before he could identify the culprit. Granny yelling go Cubs, Graham yelling go Fur. New left fielder give a about a homer. Got a homie, little rodent head and shoulders at a supple. No baseball in the bubble. Ruh-roh, parents thought it adorable. The players followed suit and crawling to a close. Head coach not amused, coach seeing red. Coach on the diamond, dragging 27 inches of aluminum behind him when he transfers third. The family's turned nervous. The following is a transcript. The man burst vermin. Here we go. Man stands out by a hole. Pest pops up to patrol. Man plays live whack-a-mole in a scene that would try every child as adult. Whoa, poor boy with a ball mitt thrown over the fence. Coach at the bench, both teams lose, good game, good game. Granny yelling, go Cubs, Cubs ain't playing. My little brother is a funny dude. A lot of funny happened to him. My other brother pretty funny too. Ain't seen him in a minute though. Just in case of rough waters, I wanna put one up for my brothers. Just in case of rough waters, I wanna put one up for my brothers. Yep, not a part of the machine. Big brother, big idea, 9016. Noi button tee, plaid flannelator, adolescent art kid. Tony Hawk hair, skinny puppy denim, and a record player vomiting alien sex fiend. Peel sessions in a Christian home for field testing. It's real youth in a palm of your hand when your mom thinks Satan is involved in a band. We were buried in the village voice, checking it was playing where. Pulled his head up out the paper, pushing out a single tear. 5 words like a beacon of light in the mist. Ministry live at the Ritz. It was Christ is risen a Chris. 3 loves, 2 fish. Miracle of mechanized loops on 2-inch. Coming to a theater, he would be there in the flesh. Moms didn't say no, but she didn't say yes. Cop tickets, side of plot thickens. Countdown to ultimate concert experience. Mom's still worrying. Why are they called ministry? Are they a cult? Maybe she would probably investigate. Bought a mag with an Al Jurgensen interview. Read a couple sentences, glanced at a pic or 2 or 3. That's all, no fair trial. Simply you will not be going to the show and that's final. What occurred next with the top of the lungs of a son who unjustly had lost what he loved? In a moment that would transcend anger, the high art said, this is something I am willing to die for. Can you even imagine a death in a band from industrial fandom? Anyway, nobody count no concert and Chris kicked rocks in his mismatched Converse. My older brother is a funny dude. A lot of funny happened to him. We hadn't spoken in a couple months. I called him last night. How you doing? Just in case of rough waters, I wanna put one up for my brothers. Just in case of rough waters, I wanna put one up for my brothers.
Let's see how y'all be trying to front, man. Y'all be fronting, man.
Been a bit since Mood died. Been a lot more lost and awake. I recall thinking someday someone's gonna say it's all from the same cause and effect, and I just couldn't fathom. Blaming a whole new page on a made-up chain reaction. Each claim individual peaks and pockets, pains in a slew of unique nuances. Nah, me, when you wake up 8 years non-responsive, it's a lot to process. Gone from a happier jack in the box to a package of clogged up chakras. Oh, shot spot, nothing ever after. Rewind it from the once upon a time, ... Once upon a time, he was so much more than a punchline for his own pot shots. I watched the impossible kid, everything that he touched turns promptly to. If I zoom on out, I can finally admit it's all been a blur since Mood got sick. None of the subsequent years stood a chance. Whether it was mom's or his man's, whether it was pops or his girl, I was poisoned. Heart full of canines, head full of voices. Whole life trying to quiet him down like a suicide king with a knife in his crown. Hounds at bay, but they just won't stay. True friendship in a tugboat way. Ego dark in the face of the. When the was a friend, I was basically done. Into the woods go his alien tongue. It was that or a textbook fake and a funk, and I can't. Here go to hindsight. 8 years been one long blindside. I could pinpoint 7 more turns that occurred cause he never really healed from the first. Oh, what a world, and he hack as a myth, and he dap as a joke, and he map as a trick, and he graph as a hoax. Ease on down, I'm burning up, I'm bleeding out. No one ain't half the battle, that's a quip written by some. You can own what you are, still sit around stoned in your car, not doing halfway to nil, cranky and waiting for a boss key and hat full of bills. Get out the car race. and other alphanumerics that changes hourly forever. My last name, 1,000 vowels fading down a sinkhole to a susurrus. It couldn't just be John Doe or Bingo. My address, a made-up language written out in living glyphs, lifted from demonic literature and religious texts. Telephone uncovered by purveyors of the Ouija, then checked against the CBGB women's room graffiti. My socialist Sudoku, my age is obscure. My in case of emergency is in the daisies chasing birds. Employed by trillionaires with perfect teeth and pores, and people who open doors for the people who open doors. My medical history is a course at SUNY Buffalo, charlatan psychiatry and troubleshooting undertow. Nervous in the service still, I'm burger meat and purple pills here. Thank you, but call your name, sure you will. Skipped lunch. I'm shrunk. Back up all your manias, you're sitting in a waiting room, you're dreaming of Arcadia, you're feeling like a baby tooth, awaiting panacea, channeling your inner Beowulf in purgatory just before you pay up to fillet yourself and others. In the name of help, cold on a conveyor belt, in an ego death alone, no telephone from Gabriel. I'm half a human, combing over home and garden stoned, gold chains over turtlenecks, cigars over cologne. 1,000 paintings wrap around a wounded animal, womb with the Schubert, he's a future human cannonball. Little fighting mother hiding in her hulu, I'm climbing up the stucco, let's get to the seppuku. Uh-oh, that pretty penny turned the prickly into Benji. If you save up all your winnings, then you get to count your blessings. I finally crunched the budget up and punched the button. She called my name out and pushed me into an oven. I'm shrunk. She says, I'm not your enemy. I said, that sounds like something that my enemy would say. Instead of playing off the chemistry, she said, you're being difficult. I said, I'm being guarded. You're $250,000 in debt. I get more guidance from my barber. Look, I'm not good at this. I grew up in a noogie fest. You built your walls pie or said goodbye to all your cookie puss. Here's one. Every time my telephone buzzes, I see images of hooded riders setting fire to hundreds. She said, when you start getting all expressive and symbolic, it's impossible to actualize an honest diagnostic. I said, when you start getting all exact and algebraic, I'm reminded it's a racket, not a rehabilitation, okay? Agree to disagree as grown-ups from opposing clans, honoring the push and pull, I should've called the Scolamance, oh well. Preservation is a doozy, will you be needing another appointment? Absolutely, I'm shrunk. Hey, Kirby, what you doing, Kirby? What you doing there? Hey, Kirby, what you doing, Kirby? What you doing there? Hobgoblin, shots of hot strongen, vaccine queen deemed church socks hostage. 9 weeks awesome, hides in a slipper, look in her eye like she might be a wizard. Cold met a cat lady in a parking lot. She got the heroes of tomorrow in a cardboard box, and probably hoarding 40 more in the corners of Fort Knox. Swap 20 on a spot and cop the warlock. Back at the haunt, found God in the hamper. Briefs on her head, playing walking with a panther. Good around misery and golden era samplers. Jeopardy and wheel at the heels of her handlers. Bet, more than a pet to worship, it's an MD. Recommended sense of purpose here to bat around keys and the means to euphoria. Soon to be held the greatest of all warriors. Hey, Kirby, what you doing, Kirby? What you doing there? Hey, Kirby, what you doing, Kirby? Why'd you eat that leaf? Yo, yo, yo. Homie, don't fetch, only woke to stretch under a fort, bubble rich with bowls of goldfish. Skittish in a company of stranger danger. Otherwise, chase drawstrings, tails, and lasers in a steel cage match with a maze of cables. Brazen, game face based on a Zazel. Oversized ears up, puke in the meow mix. Shred a pair of earbuds, remedy is cowlick. Thanks, Curbs, looking like a millie. Keep an old man sharp, keep a cold chantilly. Spun plum dizzy in a frisky moment. Never lands on her feet, though I think she's broken. Mouse are in training, nap on the toaster. Decorator cubicle with dogs playing poker. 15 years taking prescriptions, now a shrink like, I don't know, maybe get a kitten. Hey, Kirby, what you doing, Kirby? What you doing there?
I'm not taking no short.
Hey, Kirby, what you doing, Kirby? What you doing there? I don't know, maybe get a kid. 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 Dumb diggy, bump biggie to the landlady holler, get a haircut hippie. The death knell generator entertain a fresh kill. Breath quell, dressed like a bloated sack of dead cells. Shedding purple tape, purple hawk gape, a single flower through the permafrost. Pick himself and learn I walk in furry pants. War paint, circling a deralogue. Boar face, devil by his side like a service dog. Schlock purist, watch the block burneth. 1 o'clock profits in the parking lot at Perkins. The perfect politicians, 30 clicks outside of Sturgis. Doggy bag doctors, military deserters who still shop surplus and can't hold jobs. I look like I'm wearing a ghillie suit when I'm not. Roll out, ghost of Camus when the pegs might pedal by the police. Tough with 2 F's. Look. Can't tell if I'm a little withdrawn or dead dog sent to quote-unquote live on a farm. The Coke bottles tint film noir, tripping out the milk bar. Poison horde, shot a cup, milf in the zip car. 6 arms, 6 hand styles like ships on Scrimshaw. Part Def Jam, part Discord. My wig picker threw me out of a roughest. Had the cold turkey benzo. Summer was awesome. Onion a Benzies, summer was awesome. Got brats on the grill, wormwood in the cauldron. Horse hoof in the dog's mouth, cholera in the well. Make money periodically, vomiting on himself. I read Nat Geo, craft and crack geodes. Lift party hats at a craft depot. Unleaded liar blood pumped through his neck. Came down from the mountain tough with 2 F's.
You, what are you laughing at? I said, what are you laughing at?
Before a player ever met his Omega, they were effectively reducing his behavior in a data. With plans to build a Deus where the people grow potatoes and cabbage. Don't make them raise the gate between the betas and a spectacle displaying the nature of strange neighbors. I paint caves till the rage campaign tapers. Show a new crop how we used to moonwalk. Out of breath like a 7-day-old balloon dog. I still hang band posters and buy black lights. Crib decorated like a dorm room at Brandeis. Still pretend I'm gonna build another half pipe. Never mind the Ford era christening and pant size, man. Who could've guessed the future of abominable imagery would also share a birthday with Kenny G? None. The 99-cent 2 cents keeps 2 arms folded, tough with 2 F's. Yeah, let's do it like that. I pay a guy to lean over steepled fingers and convince me to pay him for his teas and tinctures. The string cheese dinner kids speak cheech wizard for the gone like Gossamer under number 3 clippers. Free, forged in various pulp channels. Even his props horse rides a wolf in a battle. Even his blood and body couldn't pick him out a lineup or his name off the paper. It's Ace, pronounced Y-us. First learn a high yard, an eye and a mark. Buying nickels for a dime at the park. I learn to rhyme in New York. I learn to breathe underwater. I learn to walk with a ghost. The deed is reeking of sulfur and chauffeur cemetery funk when home was a bleeding ulcer. Everything you ever stood up for is keeling over. Moonset beautifying cartoon death. Catfish on the farm and tough with 2 F's. Yeah. Super fresh. My spirit animal comes with a pretzel bun. Troll at a treadmill, record on the Kessel Run allegedly. Edgy from 11Z's to megabucks, techies with the treble down. This is how we level up. Dead meat, time travel, pressure and disease. Ass ushered out of 2 fingers pecking at the keys. The coping mechanism in his elemental P's. Went from healthy to unhealthy to a hell he never leaves. Cineplex Jesus, cursed at the curly fries. Mulling over Chuck D, telling me diversify. I'm at the supercut, souping up the wardrobe. Forecast looking like an Ash on 4 phones. Hello, 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 hello. Base camp, bass in your face. Brace for the rain dance. Back in the back of the classroom after a magical nap in the vacuum. Act natural, whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Super fresh. Before climbing mountain, I was skated. I started eating kale and came to terms with my lazy eye. Putting on a yoga lady, cutting off the cable guy. Whistle while you're waiting for your condition to stabilize. AV cables everywhere, every piece of vinyl scratched. Mentholated tiger bomb, I leave with the arthritis cap. Irons in the niacin, iron quiet riot mass. Cunabashed privacy expanding in a simulcast. 40 winks, never the same adventure. Refreshing or the sing-alongest exorcism ever. In the end, you gotta wonder if it's even worth the effort. No stairways into heaven, you can step into the usher. Some people have mistaken my allegiance for a weakness. It be up for eons. I wish there was a theist, the type to fake his death, then forget he faked his death. Show up on TV in the crowd at the AVNs like act natural. Whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Super fresh.
Hey, peace, Aesop. It's Chuck D. Yo, man, you keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep rhyming through those walls, right?
Sometimes I feel my heart putrefying inside my body. From diarrhea dark to piety and the Ponzi. On my better days they mingle and walk off into the poppy. On my worst, the work is overshadowed by the Monty. Had to buy some clothes that fit me and pretend I like a gobby. With a promise to his Congress not to compromise the motley in him. Maybe I should kinda sorta move to Mars. I'm feeling kinda done, too many moving parts. The poor vision is 40% bloaters. The kitchen is a chorus of glorious leftovers. The friends you confessed all the dark to would weaponize the information before we could send roses. And they want a little pearl on how we got to where we at. I can't remember where I am, I feel it's probably a trap. Balk with the lawless, cough in his notes. Walk on even when the walls hug his coat. Act natural, whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Whatever that means for you. Super fresh. Alex up the street called, said he saw a bobcat. Keep the pets inside, notify your contacts. New Salem, brave new voodoo. Wave a witch hammer in a haven for the woo-woo. A paper china dinner, mostly picking at my stitches. The bloody hair bad code, bunny ears dad joke. About Lamictal to whichever vixen. Listen, the skin rash, the schism, the million rash decisions. In truth, the other capital T, terrible 2 days. That Judas plumage to the road improved the prequel to Malaise. A feud he knew was brewing blew up in his face. He'd been replaying the scenario for days, with the variables replaced. Man, loser in the sky with more diamonds than a carpet from the Shining. Port Riot, Port Orion. We jarred a lot of lightning up, shook a turkey leg or 10. Maybe we deserve a day of rest. Not to mention, Alex up the street called, said he saw a bobcat. Check your trash can lids, notify your comrades. I said I'll take first watch. 1 a.m. defend the whole block. Ayo, the coyote, summon the ghosts of blown diodes. Open and moving like a luchador with no eye holes. Fried while the pipes froze. Life goes Lovecraft, Christ pose, sitting on invisible hubcaps. Cool Alex back, daggers in a basil patch. Tell him maybe less badminton, more Scrabble dash. Less jarts, more rummy cube, whatever. Keep the scallywags wrapped up in a subterfuge. Gussied up, guarded, and wearing the same armor as the night he argued till he dapped his mans up at departures. I could drive into a lake of fire, pay the piper COD, or wear the pot and kettle shop a little toxin equally at least. It's probably more the kid than the kid. Either way, a vital widget in the system is sick. I see his symptoms in the hinges, hit the room all at once. All I could do is plug the roof with my gum. But now I gotta call Alex back. Coyotes in the castle grass. Tell him maybe less freeze tag, more hack and slash. I said I'll take first watch. 1 a.m. defend the whole block. So a third party who was incidentally not Alex seen a black bear catawampus by the college campus. Soon a safety propaganda clamps breeds on leashes. No compost, bird seed at a feeders. Make a lot of noise when you frolic under the ether. Keep a hand on a pepper spray, sneakers on the detour. They're more scared of you than you them, although one of us chews limbs and one has two chins. So leave a couple messages, vomit a couple dollar bills. Guilty in the window, romanticized in a potter's field. Not sorry, but I never really was a leader. Found money in a speaker, bought lower Manhattan pizza. You meet a few exceedingly forsaken, sit around a cooler refusing domestication. Then a couple decades pass and you can't even find the wavelength you was on when you was running 1 a.m. By the way, a third party who was incidentally not Alex seen a bear put 1,000 chickens in a pot with carrots. I said I'll take first watch, 1 a.m. defend the whole block.
Vita est morte est vita. Life is death is life.
Found nothing but the feathers and the skull on a porch like a present with a bow. Dinners in a black earth, gutted and uncoupled from the patchwork. Buried by a 7-year cherub in the backyard, epitaph and all. Disciple of the cycles and sciences of birth in a fertilized hyacinth. Life in the vitamins, invited up the cypresses. A testament to moxie and the miracle of lifelessness. It's tricky when you rather rot into the soil as a nutrient than navigate this mortal coil in human skin. Dig? The nuances of putrefying jelly hit the levee when those feathers are a cancer in your bestie. And I pick a ginger gold is fed by a drunken uncle. One from a customer pumping at Sumner blood work. Remember them ascending, settling any high scores. 40 meters up with the heart of a high dive horse. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower.
Impossible. Impossible. Impossible.
I told my ex in 97 I was falling on my weapon. Ripped the phone up out the wall. The poet dragged me from my bedroom. An embarrassing ordeal involving hospitals and questions. And the kind of doctors who use words like cognitive and spectrum while explaining why you're selfish to romanticize a ruse and watch unruly roots pull you that Lucifer by your shoes. I mean, it isn't perfect, but don't misconstrue the purpose. Any urge is indiscernible from community service to the kiddo. Plus she'd make a beautiful widow, but that's an altruistic ticket to a room with no windows. You think you would've learned back in the 80s when they pulled him out of class over concerns about his safety, but he didn't. It wasn't cause he doesn't get the message, more he doesn't judge a man by how honorable his death is on a scale you made up anyway. Half passed out to pasture, whether clapped or batteries in backwards. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower.
Impossible. 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 Impossible.
I had a pet lizard, he never got an obit. Fed him crickets, it was dead a fucking month before I noticed. An older me would note that whether disposable goldfish or theist, we certainly become the earth as equals in a circle. Unique until the spirit isn't willing, while the flesh is still a staple of the labor force and whistling. It's roadkill evoking emotion, his own totem don't. That's a reality you evade or grow to own. Social code broken, a hierarchy to gas back. Black labs over whack dads on the ad mat. Tabby of a parasite, bats of the parish. A civil war becoming of ungovernable atoms. I'm born from the guts of stars and black tar pits. Iron maiden denim, paint the devil under Gorlix. Crawls at a clawed corp in a huff and puff, somewhere in between the dust and dust. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower. Be no rules on the water tower.
Impossible. Impossible. Impossible.
That's impossible.
spoilers. The non-bond voyage, stock weaponry and soylents, and whatever stop the voices. Colossal paranoia's out to author an abrasive lore about how war paint won't assure you in a painted baby. No ground wires, all jaw froth, mouth breathing outliers, climb out of mothballs. Rung stones, unsung and alone, known to run up in the unknown. Honey, I'm home. I'll push a bucket of bolts, a sort of death in its wake. I take the hand off the thief, I take the head off the snake. Approach a pen like revolution's just a sentence away. Till then he's documenting cops and watching heaven decay. It's not a gentleman's game, it's a generation race. Accordingly, you'll know the differences between the cozy and the quarantine. Yes, y'all, the crestfallen, careworn, air horn, air horn, air horn, air horn. These awful winds, those grinding gears, this pile of bones, that's why I'm here. Wild frontier. Come on. These violent drums, those primal fears, this pool of mud, that's why I'm here. Wild frontier. That's impossible. Body still warm, scavengers already obsessively knocking on his molecules. I'm catatonic, fatting at a rocket fueling ramen, not a dollar. Watching Rocky 2 and Donatello boxers at some hot as hell motel and what's supposed to be a Shangri-La. More akin to angry mobs with anchor tats and mangy dogs and vacant lots. Traded any semblance of consistency to play the odds. Not even a baby daughter changes gauze. Not even a hideaway to hide up in. A side effect of sliding environment to environment. Driving isn't simply when the tires spin. Try again, departures and arrivals aren't only time and mileage. Try again, a raider break off from the phalanx and never look back, never cook crack, K thanks, bye. New York in a rear view, then peel out to the found New York in a windshield. These cursed dogs, those flying spears, this rancid food, that's why I'm here. Wild frontier. Come on. These fleeting hopes, those vital prayers, this bag of cash, that's why I'm here. Wild frontier. This was never an effective way to rally insurgents, or really even the occupation of a rational person. When you write about seclusion and some buyers finally tune in, you get frightened finding happiness could drive away the movement in a jiffy. Just eat your food and keep the future iffy. That fruition's for the viewers who need a loser to pity. Plus an underlying message of a greater disconnection. God forbid he try to live or gain momentum. Mend or pay his penance. You'd rather see him eat a bowl of mousetrap, surf 1,000 couches, take a jagged little down the hatch, chowder heads. I know you love the way the failure flounder. Maybe I could be your daily downer. If his brain left his body and was headed for the door, would you take it in and help it find its way into a jar? Nope. Let him hop around a maze. We could see us really lost when the schadenfreude fades. These churning seas, those quiet sneers, this box of parts, that's why I'm here. Wild frontier. Come on. These creepy friends, those dicey dares, this perfect dark, that's why I'm here. Wild frontier.